In the kingdom of Nyumbani, there lived a beautiful and wealthy princess named Zuri. She was admired by all for her grace, intelligence, and kindness. Princess Zuri's beauty was legendary, with her deep, expressive eyes, radiant smile, and skin that glowed like the finest mahogany. She adorned herself in the most exquisite traditional garments, with intricate patterns and vibrant colors that reflected her royal heritage. Despite her beauty and grace, Princess Zuri had not found true love. Many suitors came from far and wide, enchanted by her charm, but all seemed more interested in her wealth than in her heart. There was Prince Tando. Tando was the first to seek Zuri's hand. A prince from a neighboring kingdom, he came with grand gifts and promises of a luxurious life. However, Zuri noticed that he often talked about her kingdom's riches and the alliances their marriage would bring, rather than expressing genuine affection for her. Tando's superficial charm quickly faded, and Zuri dismissed him, feeling disheartened. And then there was Chief Kweku. Kweku, a powerful and wealthy chief, was next in line. He boasted of his vast lands and numerous cattle, presenting them as reasons why he deserved Zuri's hand. He viewed marriage as a transaction, seeking to expand his influence and wealth through their union. Zuri felt like a prize rather than a person, and she turned him away, her hope in finding true love dwindling. Then also merchant Ode, a wealthy merchant, approached Zuri with tales of his successful trade ventures. He was charismatic and persuasive, but Zuri soon realized that his interest lay in the economic benefits of marrying a princess. He often talked about expanding his business empire and how their marriage would be a lucrative partnership. Ade's materialistic mindset left Zuri feeling cold and disappointed. The final suitor who pushed Zuri to her breaking point was Lord Namdi, a nobleman known for his cunning and ambition. Namdi was articulate and seemed genuinely interested in Zuri at first. He spent time listening to her, engaging in thoughtful conversations, and making her feel valued. However, it did not take long for his true intentions to surface. One evening, Zuri overheard a conversation between Namdi and his advisor. They spoke of their plans to use Zuri's wealth to fund their political ambitions and expand their power. Namdi's words were cold and calculating, reducing Zuri to a mere pawn in his grand scheme. Heartbroken and disillusioned, Zuri realized that she could no longer trust the men who came to her as a princess. Their intentions were tainted by greed and ambition, and she feared she would never find someone who loved her for who she truly was. It was this final betrayal by Namdi that solidified Zuri's decision to disguise herself. She needed to find a way to escape the shadows of her wealth and status, to discover if there was someone who could love her genuinely. Disheartened by their intentions, Princess Zuri decided to take matters into her own hands. One moonlit night, she devised a plan. She would disguise herself as a maid and walk in a distant part of the kingdom. There, she hoped to find a man who would love her for who she truly was, not for her royal status or riches. With the help of her trusted maid, she dressed in simple clothes and left the palace at dawn. Zuri found work in the household of a kind, but humble merchant named Kofi. She worked diligently, sweeping the floors, washing clothes, and cooking meals. Despite the hard labor, she was happy to be free from the weight of her royal identity. In this humble setting, she hoped to find the love she had been yearning for. One day, as she was drawing water from the well, she met a young man named Amare. Amare was a poor but hardworking man who lived in a small hut by the river. He often came to the merchant's house to sell fish. Amare was kind and gentle, always helping Zuri with her chores and speaking to her with respect and admiration. They grew close, and Zuri felt a warmth in her heart that she had never felt before. However, Zuri's journey to find true love was not without its complications. The merchant's son, Jabari, also took notice of the new maid. Jabari was wealthy and handsome, known for his charm and charisma. He was intrigued by Zuri's beauty and simplicity. Despite her attempts to keep a low profile, Jabari's interest in her grew stronger each day. In the household of the humble merchant Kofi, Princess Zuri, disguised as a maid, continued to experience the contrasting affections of Jabari and Amare. These experiences further illuminated the true nature of their feelings for her. Jabari, the wealthy and charismatic son of the merchant, was captivated by Zuri's beauty and grace. He believed that the best way to win her heart was through grand gestures and lavish gifts. Jabari would often shower Zuri with expensive presents, hoping to impress her and gain her favor. Jabari would present Zuri with exquisite pieces of jewelry, from glittering necklaces to ornate bracelets. Each gift was more extravagant than the last, meant to showcase his wealth and generosity. He gifted her luxurious silk dresses, imported from distant lands, hoping that these tokens of affection would make her fall for him. Jabari would organize grand feasts and banquets, inviting the finest musicians and entertainers to please Zuri. He believed that such displays of wealth and luxury would surely win her heart. Despite these grand gestures, Zuri felt a disconnect. While she appreciated Jabari's efforts, she sensed that his affection was more about showcasing his wealth and impressing others than about genuine love and connection. In stark contrast, Amare, the humble and hardworking man, had little to offer in terms of material wealth. However, his love for Zuri was evident in the way he treated her, showing her genuine affection and care. Amare spent quality time with Zuri, listening to her stories, sharing his own, and engaging in heartfelt conversations. He valued her thoughts and feelings, making her feel truly heard and understood. Amare would help Zuri with her daily chores, showing his support and appreciation through small but meaningful acts of kindness. Whether it was carrying heavy water buckets or mending her clothes, his actions spoke volumes about his love. Instead of grand gifts, Amare would bring Zuri simple yet thoughtful tokens of his affection. A wildflower he picked by the river, a handcrafted trinket, or a freshly caught fish for her dinner, each gesture was filled with sincerity and love. As time went on, Zuri found herself more drawn to Amare's genuine affection and selflessness. His love was pure, untainted by material desires or superficiality. In contrast, Jabari's lavish gifts began to feel hollow, lacking the depth and authenticity that Zuri longed for. Princess Zuri found herself torn between two loves. On one hand, there was Amare, who loved her genuinely and selflessly. On the other hand, there was Jabari, whose affection seemed sincere but came with the complexities of wealth and status. She feared making the wrong choice, as her heart was pulled in different directions. Princess Zuri, now deeply torn between Amare and Jabari, decided she needed a way to determine who genuinely loved her for who she was. With the wisdom of her trusted maid, she devised a plan to test the sincerity of both men. She pretended to fall seriously ill, claiming that she needed a liver transplant to survive. Zuri's trusted maid discreetly informed both Amare and Jabari of the princess's condition, mentioning that a liver transplant was the only way to save her life. When Amare heard of Zuri's illness, he was devastated. He rushed to the hospital where Zuri was, his heart filled with concern. He offered his liver without hesitation, declaring his willingness to do anything to save her. Amare's sincerity and love shone through his tears as he pleaded to be allowed to help. Jabari, upon hearing the news, was also deeply affected. He too made his way to the hospital, his mind racing with worry. He offered his liver as well, expressing his love and commitment to Zuri's well-being. However, Zuri, still disguised, observed Jabari closely. She noticed a flicker of hesitation in his eyes, a momentary doubt that made her question his true intentions. As Zuri's condition appeared to worsen, the hospital arranged for a grand hospital setup, equipped with the best doctors and nurses. Amare and Jabari were prepared for the surgery. Both men were subjected to rigorous medical evaluations to determine if they were suitable donors. The tension in the air was palpable. Amare, despite his humble background and limited means, stood resolute. He showed no hesitation, willingly submitting to all tests and procedures. His love for Zuri shone through his actions, reflecting his genuine and selfless nature. He was ready to make the ultimate sacrifice to save the woman he loved, regardless of the cost to himself. Jabari, the wealthy and charismatic son of the merchant, initially appeared just as committed. He underwent the preliminary tests and seemed eager to help. However, as the moment of surgery drew closer, doubts crept into his mind. The reality of the situation weighed heavily on him. The thought of undergoing a major surgery, the risks involved, and the potential impact on his own life made him reconsider. As the doctors prepared to take Jabari to the operating room, he hesitated. He started questioning his decision, and ultimately, fear and self-preservation took over. Jabari refused to proceed with the surgery, backing out at the last moment. His actions revealed his true priorities and the limits of his affection. With Jabari's refusal, the truth became clear. Princess Zuri, still pretending to be ill, called for both men to be brought to her bedside. She revealed and explained the test she had devised to uncover their genuine intentions. Amare, though surprised by the revelation, remained steadfast in his love for Zuri. He expressed relief that she was not truly ill and reaffirmed his commitment to her. His actions had proven his selfless and unwavering love beyond any doubt. Jabari, on the other hand, was filled with a mix of shame and regret. He realized that his love for Zuri was conditional and not strong enough to overcome his fears and selfish desires. He accepted Zuri's decision with grace, acknowledging his shortcomings. Princess Zuri's heart was now clear. She saw the depth of Amare's love and the purity of his intentions. She chose Amare, knowing that he loved her truly and selflessly. One evening, under the light of the setting sun, Zuri confided in Amare about her true identity and her quest for real love. Amare, though shocked, assured her that his feelings for her were true and unwavering. He promised to love her for who she was, not for her royal status. Jabari, too, came forward and expressed his genuine love for Zuri. He first apologized that he was not able to help her even though she was not ill. He confessed that he had fallen for her simplicity and grace, unaware of her royal background. He admired her courage and honesty, promising to cherish and protect her regardless of her status. Princess Zuri was now no longer at a crossroads. She realized that true love was not bound by wealth or status but by the purity of the heart. She made her decision. She chose Amare, the man who had shown her what it meant to be loved unconditionally. Zuri returned to the palace with Amare by her side, revealing her true identity to everyone. The kingdom rejoiced in their union, celebrating the love that transcended boundaries. Jabari, though heartbroken, respected Zuri's decision and remained a loyal friend to the couple. And so, Princess Zuri and Amare lived happily ever after, proving that true love is found in the simplest of hearts.